A Soul Grows in Israel, a podcast where we ask the questions about ancient Jewish wisdom, modern life, and everything in between. So let's ask, let's have fun, and let's grow together. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of A Soul Grows in Israel. I'm so excited to be in person with someone I'm obsessed with. She happens to be related to me, but through marriage, which means I have a choice if I want to be in touch with her or not. But she's so cool. She has so many, I think, amazing insights that I never get bored of speaking about. I want to introduce you to my cousin, Batsheva.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here. I know this is not your first preference to be interviewed, but sometimes when we talk, I think if more people heard this, it could bring so much insight and light to other people's.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely.
And I definitely enjoy always speaking to you about these things.
Mhm.
You just get it.
I get it because I
And
love it.
So with moving to Israel, I don't know how, you just became this, you look and act like an American still, but half the Israeli now.
You know, I think because I'm a New Yorker. I think there's this funny cross between Israelis and New Yorkers and then Americans.
Right.
Where I always have more in touch with Israelis than I do people from Jersey. No offense, guys. It's just the way it is. It's just it. So you're talking about Israeli, and you come from a very large family, Kanai Nahara, many kids. And when I meet you or one of your siblings, each of you feel like you guys had whatever you wanted. You have, so much confidence. Is that the culture? Is that your home life? What is going on here to create such a nice specimen?
I think a lot of it is the home I grew up in. I'm one of 11.
11.
My parents really somehow gave us everything, just a fun upbringing, very close family. Everyone gave each other confidence. Everyone's very strong personalities. We'll get to that soon, the types of personalities, but strong personalities, very devoted to each other. I think most of it came from my mom.
Wow.
Who was extremely devoted, selfless. We're 11 spoiled brats. It's how do you do that?
It's a dream.
Yeah, she's beyond. And of course, my father's a very loving person. So it's just, no, it's a bracha. And of course, growing up in Israel, listen.
Yeah.
You gotta
grow a pair.
Yeah.
As they say.
My mother is I'm here to just give you and give you and give you nothing in return. Whatever you are, you're amazing. You are always perfect in her eyes, of course,
That's something. Yeah.
Yeah. She's my biggest fan.
Wow.
Yeah, I always tell her, you're unbelievable. She's like, no.
My mother very much is like that too. To the point where now when she says you look so pretty, I don't even believe her because she said it when I was in pajamas. And I know that that's what she sees, which is also, I think, such a superpower to have that in your life. But you're one of the few people who have had a really happy childhood that I can get along with. Okay? No, really.
Listen, I've had my challenges.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that make us, there were challenges. And I think because we were a big family, we gave each other a lot of strength also. So it was we were like an army.
Yes.
No one is going to do anything to us.
Yeah.
There were things and there were challenges. And that's why part of growing up in Israel is that the challenges are not hidden.
Yes.
Everyone talks about their hardships and we don't have money. We don't have money. It's oh, totally. Do you have money for the bus for me? My parents didn't have. So it's everything's out there. So you're growing up seeing a lot of challenges and seeing how people deal with it and talking about them. Maybe it was also specifically where I was, but just a lot around you and nothing's covered. Unlike where you come from.
So much shame. Yeah.
And so where I grew up, it was let's help, let's talk about it. Things weren't, to a certain extent, of course, everyone chooses what to share, but a lot was out.
That's everything, I have to say, because if you are going through a hard time and you don't internalize it like it's your fault or you have to hide it or it's embarrassing, it's so much easier to go through things when everyone's being real and honest,
right.
And life is much more interesting, actually.
That's another thing I wanted to add. I also grew up in a home that emotions were out.
Yes.
Whether it's being mad or happy, everything was out. You said what you felt and thought without thinking. So it was a lot. It was intense, but everything was out.
I so much prefer a mess that brings people together after than when I know a family and nothing is talked about and they keep saying they're so close. And I know nobody's close. Everyone's on their best behavior when they're
Yeah.
together as a family, and it makes me feel so uneasy because if they really knew the real stories or the real personalities, it would be a connection,
Right.
you know?
Exactly. Exactly.
You
Because
do.
everyone's hardships and
Mm-hmm.
everyone's, it's like, yeah, I could speak to my sister and I'll say hello and she'll know what mood I'm in.
Wow,
It's like, yeah,
that's beautiful.
yeah,
So
yeah.
how do you have time for someone like me when you have so many amazing sisters? And
Exactly.
how do you have time for friends?
I don't, I don't, in high school, I had a ton of friends. And
Mm-hmm.
once I got married, I have my two best friends
Yeah.
and my sisters and my family, my brothers. I speak to my brothers often.
Wow.
Speak to my mother every day or twice a day. No, I don't have time.
Yeah, I
Honestly,
can't.
I don't have time. So
I know. I'm
you're
so
someone I
honored.
really, yeah,
Oh my goodness.
I really connect to
Yeah.
and I admire.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just, I feel like you fight being real because you
Mm-hmm.
could so easily
Mm-hmm.
be this like
Yeah.
on the outside, just like someone who everything is, you could show everything's a certain way, even if it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
You have that ability
Yeah,
and you
unfortunately.
just
Yeah.
don't. You want the real, you want the truth. That's why you're in Israel also.
Yep.
You just don't let that I can't be fake around you, even if you
Yeah.
want. You're just you have something that's so real
Yeah.
and that's why I let
That's why we connect. That's why we connect.
exactly.
Although I have to say, the temptation for me growing up, pretending everything was okay, that was my obsession. I'm normal, nothing to see here. And I swallowed myself so much because I didn't think anyone would be around if I was being myself. And I speak about this sometimes, but I would watch girls being bratty and I'd be so jealous of their freedom to be bratty because I thought I would lose everyone if I was that way. And now in life, my part of my work or my journey is to see who's left if I'm more myself, who's going to hang around and who's leaving. And I love that because it's like, it's obviously dead weight. If you're leaving because you didn't like what you saw here, bye.
Whoever's leaving probably is someone who's also similar to that. Let's be fake thing.
Hmm.
No? And if
Yes.
you're breaking that, it's like, where am I left? What am
Yes.
I left with?
Exactly right.
I can't open myself. I can't be exposed.
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
100%. Well, that's why I wanted to talk to you about really, I don't know, are you seeing clients? And after this episode, would you see clients? Because so many people have been asking me, how did you get into this podcast? And I describe sitting in your sukkah and you're reading my astrological map. And I was kind of blown away at the things I was subconsciously pushing to the back. And you were sort of saying, it's right here. You can't really hide it. It came up 5 times, 6 times. And
Yeah.
this is where this came from.
It was unbelievable to see how kept on coming. These stars, pirsum, fame, giving, speaking.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
I studied psychotherapy and my teacher was like, I'm starting astrology. Also, would you want to do it? I'm like, no, I can't do it. You have to be exact
Uh-huh.
numbers and this and that. And she's like, I'm telling you, try it.
Mm-hmm.
And it just but what amazes me the most about astrology is that we come to the world and we're like, if only I could change this.
Mm-hmm.
If only I had this
Mm-hmm.
different, if only this, that. And everything is there from before you're born. The hour, the exact, you need an exact hour when you're born, date, hour, place, and it just you have your mapa, like
Mm-hmm.
astrology, where all the stars are, and everything is there. So you came here with this journey that was meant to be. Nothing happened by mistake.
Right.
Nothing. If only I had a different father. If only
Mm-hmm.
this is. Even if your father was a different person, that challenge would be there with him.
That's crazy.
It wouldn't help. Even if your parent, everything is there. So even if I was in a different high school,
Mm-hmm.
no, if it said that you would have a hard time in high school, you would have it in a different high school also.
Wow.
You can't run away from your challenges, but you could grow through them.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started studying it, so there's the stars that show pain and challenge, and you're like, whoa, I have this star, and here it shows that what? No, it could be painful if you don't work right with it.
Wow.
If you'll do it right, yeah, it'll be painful, but you'll grow from it. You'll get to a
Mm-hmm.
better place. You'll
Mm-hmm.
do good.
It's so funny because you looked at my marriage and you were like, well, whatever issues you have or you think you would have that with any spouse.
Right.
That hit me like it's so true. I knew right away when you said that. I'm like 100%. That's the way I go through life. And if someone's on my nerves, anyone would be on my nerves, him least of all. So you start to realize instead of giving your power to other people, like if I had another father or a different this or things were different, that's you being weak because you're dependent on them. But when you realize it's your journey and this is what you were given, you have control, not to change it, but like you said, to open up the door.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah,
cool.
if you're able to accept it, even just
Yeah.
to like accept, this is my journey. This is what I came to the
Hmm.
world with. And you could find also, you see all the strengths that you have and all the weaknesses that you have, and you have
Hmm.
to work on. Which, by the way, if you get deeper in Kabbalah, you come to this world with the way you left it. They were gilgulim. So you're basically the work you did in the past comes
Hmm.
back with you. Sometimes there's a star, you see what you come with. That's
Wow.
you. You don't work on it. You know,
Hmm.
some people you see, you're like, wow, they're naturally this.
Yeah.
Right. Because they did it. They didn't come stop. Hashem didn't say, okay, you come without anger. You go.
Hmm.
Everyone worked on things and it becomes yours. The
Wow.
midos, the good things you did, all those things that you come back with. And sometimes you come back with things that you didn't finish.
Right. What about trauma? Like, do you come back with that? Like, if you know that you're a person who is, let's just go back to anger. Maybe it's from something you didn't complete in a different life or something you went through.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
that could be. That could be. There, you could definitely see that. You could see pain that's not like some people tell me. I feel like I was in the Holocaust.
Yes.
I was in it. Now I can't say that. I was not in the Holocaust
Hmm.
or
Hmm.
close to the Holocaust
Hmm.
even. I was somewhere very, very far from the Holocaust.
Lucky.
Some people
Mhm.
tell me I was there. I'm telling you, I dream about wars. I dream, yeah, they're Mazal Akrav.
Wow.
They have memory of death. They think about it. I have a son like that.
Wow.
My son's, he's always talking about death. Like, did he die? I dreamt that he died.
Wow.
At-Muda shelo, his,
Hmm. Subconscious.
so a lot of death there. And I'm like,
Wow.
wow, this is interesting. Wait, I opened his astrology, right? He has a
Hmm.
very strong akrab. His moon, the moon is the emotional world, is akrab.
A scorpion?
There's a lot of inside things going on.
Wow.
Very, very deep. You don't
Hmm.
see it. They don't talk about a lot
Hmm.
of their things,
hmm
but there's a lot of,
Wow. You said something so cool because you said that's interesting. Now, a lot of parents without your education would hear their son was dreaming about death and be like, oh, he needs a therapist, right? And freak out. And freaking out and anxiety is not going to help your kid.
right.
And if you're curious about it, maybe giving it some light or some meaning.
Yeah.
So it almost calms you when you have this sort of education.
For sure, for sure. You open it. I have also another daughter who's, woo, she has a lot going on for her. And I open her mapa and I'm like, wow, this is nuts. This is nuts.
Wow.
Like you see
Wow.
stars in crazy places. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah, this is what I was given as a
this is
kid.
her.
Uh-huh.
And she's gonna get far. And she
Mm-hmm.
has many strengths. She has a lot of things she has to work on. But with that
Mm-hmm.
ton of talent, a ton of
Mm-hmm.
things going for her that it's like you see Hashem, how he really gives us the tools we need also.
Yes.
You see it. You see it. Okay, so you're gonna have a hard time here, but then he gives you from the other side. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like
Mm-hmm.
you see, we really come here with what we need. We just need to really, like you said, open the door and
Yeah.
be a cleat to really,
Receive it.
yeah.
It's so cool because a lot of people would also want to break if let's just say their daughter was being crazy, for example. "Ooh," you're not breaking her. You're like, this is exact, not that she's crazy, but this is exactly what she needs here. And I get it. And I could zoom out and see sort of this whole purpose for her. I'm telling you, I think since you started talking to me about it, and I was never into like horoscopes, astrology, but I know that yours is rooted in our Masorah, in our culture. Do you guys have sources? Where is your teacher getting all this
Yeah,
from?
it's all from the Torah. You're not allowed to do the future,
Right.
which even in the Stam astrology, the future, you can't really,
It's fuzzy.
yeah.
Mhm.
But there's a lot of Mekorot in the Gemara and Torah. In Mitzrayim, everything was astrology.
Yeah.
For the son that will be born, and they were very big astrologists. A
Hmm.
lot of the things were according to the stars. They were like masters.
Wow.
So there's a lot of stuff in the Torah that you see.
Hmm. That's
Yeah.
it. And like, our limited freedom of choice is probably how we're going to understand it or work on it. But everything else you're given. I had this guest on Shabbos and her kids were making her crazy. And she just looked at me and she goes, "You're so calm." And I said, "I got a bunch of other things. Yeah, I'm calm on the outside, mostly calm on the inside, but that's not something you have to look at me for because I was given a completely different toolbox than you were given." What a waste of energy and time to be comparing ourselves to other people,
Exactly.
you know?
Totally. Sometimes you look at people and you're like, "Oh, they have it so easy
Mhm.
here," and or you look at someone, they have such an easy marriage, but they
Yeah.
did work. They did work. If it's not here, they did it. The things that you have easy, you worked on.
Wow.
Everything here, Hashem wants us to feel like we did it, earned it.
Hmm.
Hashem could give us everything, but we have to believe in ourselves so we could do it on our own.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, it is so beautiful. And believing in yourself comes from, I think, learning to accept yourself. So when you see something written down, like this was meant to be, for me, it was very much like a hug. Like I felt like nothing is, like you said, by accident, but also it's so precise on your personality. And I'm wondering if you can take us through the process a little bit. How does it work with the sun and the moon and the alignment? What are you looking for?
I like to see the Hebrew to see if, but it's actually the English birthday, and it's according to the birthday, the exact hour. It's very important. And the place, according to where the sun was then, where the sun was, where the moon, the horizon is the Ofik. That's your the star there shows what you came with. That's the work you did. The things in your personality that are you. For example, my horizon is Gdi, Capricorn. How do you say it?
Capricorn, yeah.
Okay, so
Are you January? Is that Capricorn?
It's yeah. I'm not January. My Ofik is.
Your Ophik is Capricorn, yes.
Yeah. So that means I have in me a certain Gdi is very into the law and doing what's right. They want to do what's right. They don't want to cross the law. So I'm pretty like crazy in my personality. I could be wild and whatever, but I always have something in me that tells me do what's right. Stick to what's right. And I don't work on it. It's in me. I was born with it.
I have two kids like that and my best friend. I love that personality. Yeah, it's so not me. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you had D in your mapa. Keeps you in a certain line and like whatever. But it's also it's like Adama.
Yes, earth.
Earth. I'm very earth.
Yes. That's why you're not moving. Look at you. You're so relaxed. And I find myself shifting. And I'm like, oh, that's just who I am. And look how settled. And I think we really do desire people who are so the opposite in terms of energy from us because we give to each other what we're missing. Right. You know?
Right. So, yeah. So, first of all, like you said before, accepting yourself. For me, it was a major thing. Like to work on accepting myself. I used to really not like my personality. I was like, I have a very strong personality. That's how I used to feel. I'm like, I'm too strong. I would say something in class and it was like, wow. And I was like, someone else just said that. Why is it so major when I say it? Why are people getting so offended when I'm saying something that another person, I'm very strong. And I was like, okay, I'm so strong. I can't. Like, I didn't accept. And that was really a lot of my work. My avoda was like to like really accept who I am. And to really, I think we all have to accept and love ourselves in order to be giving, especially when you have kids.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And you're married. So it's also like to really accept, love yourself and believe that the way you are is how Hashem wants it. This is how you want it. It's not a mistake. When you get to your bad places, this is where Hashem wanted you. Accept it and it's going to go away.
Yeah, accept it.
This therapist told me once, she's like, it's okay. Just be there. Don't fight it. Don't hate yourself. Accept it. Now I'm upset at myself and it's okay. This is where I have to be.
That is huge.
And it went away.
Yeah, I believe that.
It went away. Just learning that life is, we came here with a journey.
I love it. It's so funny because you're describing yourself in school. I would have looked at someone like you and been like, wow, I wish I was that confident. I wish I could just like, say whatever I want. And I would never dream in a million years someone like you was second guessing their actual comfort in this world. It's remarkable.
My very good friend was the opposite of me. She's like, oh, you don't understand what you have. And you're so confident. You're so strong. You're so out there. And I was like, if only you would know how much I hate that side of me.
Yeah.
If only you would know how much I look at people who are just like quiet and don't say whatever they want. I felt like it was a michshol, like it was like an obstacle. Like,
yes.
And
it was just a tool.
Even when I got married, I married a person, as you know, your cousin, who was the opposite of that.
Yes.
Strong inside, very inner strength.
Yes.
Everything's in and very quiet. And I was like, so strong.
Wow.
I remember on dates, I would tell guys, I'm like, I'm a very strong personality.
Run.
Yeah, run. I always tell Yossi, I'm like, I was.
That's right. You didn't fake it.
So cute that she's saying that on a date. Yeah. I'm like, little do you know, it's not cute.
And he became such a full human being through you. I can see it as a family member that was so healthy, as you thought you were destroying something and it wasn't that.
Right. And I also, I completely changed. I feel like I became much more settled with who I am and the way I am and calmer about it. So we balance each other. It's like, it's amazing to see.
So you have your horizon. So your horizon likes to follow the rules. So you discuss the sun, the moon.
The sun, the moon, and the horizon are the three things that you first see in a person. Those are the real personality, begador. Let's say for me, my sun is shor. Shor is Taurus.
That's also Earth, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
So we got it's strong.
I see it,
It's strong.
guys. Like,
Adama, first of all, always any plan. My friends are like, you're too down to earth. Because anyone who has a plan right away, I'm like, wait, it sounds like this, but it's going to be like this.
uh-huh.
It's like me die. Want to fly? Okay. It sounds cool to go to America. Wait, let me tell you so I can become a very negative person because I see the real picture.
And you see it playing out.
And then everyone tells me, wow, you were so right.
Wow.
And I'm like, yeah, but sometimes it's better not to look.
So what do you do with that? If you want to be less of an element that you have like double of, is there any real way to pull back, or is it just the way it is?
There is, because if you look at the big mapa, you have to you try to find all the yesodot, Adama, Ish, Maim, Avir, all those you want to find in your mapa.
Okay.
So you can find them in smaller stars. Some people, I met a woman who, whenever she tried to speak, she couldn't express herself. Like, it was like as if she doesn't have ear. And we looked at her mapa. It was weird. She didn't have one star that has ear, Avir.
Wow.
So it was interesting. She's like, I always feel like Enli Avir. Like, so it's good to have all the yesodot.
Yeah.
But the stronger ones are who you are.
That's it.
Really, that's for me. Yeah, So the sun is your personality. I'm sure. Shol is also Adama, strong, knows what they want, stubborn. They have good taste.
Yeah, look at guys, if you're watching this, I mean, she dresses beautifully. She does have good taste. She does.
But they like expensive things.
Yeah.
Money, miniyut, all those things. A lot of chomer, amon chomriyut.
Yeah.
The house is they're chushanim, they're stuff. But they're also, they're very grounded. They know what to say. A lot of them have a good voice, strong, speak very, yeah. And then the moon is more my emotional world.
Leo. That's always your emotion, the moon. Okay.
Okay. Ima. It's
wow.
mother. It shows where your moon is. You could see the relationship.
So the sun is the masculine.
The sun is the father. You see the relationship with the father.
Wow.
Yeah. Crazy. It's a lot to see.
That's so cool.
So in my moon is Leo, and yeah, that's ish. A lot of ish. To cook that parties are funny, center of everything.
Yes.
But again, their ego, you don't want to hurt their ego. Their kids are like very important to them. They live almost through their kids.
Like a lioness. Yeah.
Like a lion, yeah. But again, everything has to like
balance out.
Balance. And then there's all these stars that are there to really teach you what you need to do.
Wow. So the rest of the stars are teachers, like guides to show you what you need to do.
That's what
okay.
There's the stars that are teachers, and the stars that are gifts also, that are here to just
have fun.
Yeah.
Really.
Like some person has a certain star that just gives them beauty. Sometimes you see people that have a star that gives them shefa and money. Sometimes you see it's like you just see these.
It's so cool. And it's not like I worked 12 hours a day to earn this. Sometimes it's just flowing in or wow, it shows you again divine providence, like hashgacha pratos and all these different things. It'll just come.
You see a person that someone that has a very good star in it's called Beit Shtemesre. It's like friends. People always have friends, very good friends. A lot of kids you could see.
Wow.
You could see dreams. People have very wild dreams.
That's so cool. You did me and my husband. I sat there for 3 hours in your sukkah, forgetting to blink or drink. I was so fixated because I was learning about not only what you do, I was learning so deeply about myself and my relationships. It was just, and then you started reading Yoshua as my husband's, and I was like, it also validated him. It was like, all these things they're not issues. These are just.
Yeah, there were things that I didn't know about him. And should I say that?
Yeah. No. And he said, bring it on.
Yeah. I said something about maybe his father or whatever.
Yeah.
My brother's actually, my oldest brother, who's unbelievable. I met him one day and we were talking and I said, I opened his astrology.
His map. Yeah.
And it said there's something. I'm like, you like to write? I see stars here in writing. Like you have a talent in writing. He's like, a book now. Dream, and I didn't tell anyone. And I was like,
it's meant to be.
It's very cool.
That is amazing. Yeah. You kept seeing, I remember with me, you were like, okay, you are Moznaim, which are the scales, again and again and again and again. It kept coming up like so many times over, or so much air. And it just made me more curious. It was like, okay, so what does this mean? And what am I meant to do?
Yes,
and
so Moznaim.
Yeah.
Like so diplomatic. Always knows what to say. Looks and everything is just very, very Moznaim by you. And what was amazing is that
Mm.
when you were by me, I opened them up today. You could do that to see.
Wow.
And the stars kept coming up. Pirsum
Hmm.
out there. Like you
Yeah,
had to come out.
I had
Like
to
it
come
was
out.
like it was very cool to see.
And it was great because I was thinking this whole time when I teach, okay, I have like 20 girls in the room now, or I've got 40 girls in the room. What if more people could hear what I'm saying? And it's not because what I'm saying is so precious. I just had this feeling that, first of all, I'm just a messenger. I'm giving over stuff that I've heard that are brilliant. These aren't my own thoughts. What if more people could hear it this way from my specific tone? And then
Yeah.
you were like saying, not only should you, but here's permission. And I was kind of always embarrassed or pushed that away. Like, I don't want attention. Like, it's such an embarrassing thing to even want. And then you realize, no, it's not like that.
No, it's
You
not like
know?
that. It's you have this koach and you're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to use it. I just saw in Chovas HaLevavos,
Mm-hmm.
he says that if a person needs money, let's say, and he has two jobs, one is his talents and one
Hmm.
is more money, he has to do the one that has his talents
Wow.
because Hashem gave it to him. Like it's a chovah to use your talents. It's something you're supposed to do. So it's a
Yeah.
gift. And you can't just say, oh, you know.
No, you can't. And if you do, I think you will find yourself very close to depression. I think that any light that's not expressed, it turns almost like rotten, like milk or something. It'll
So
sit in you. Get
it's
it
so
out.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's hard to do that, to really
Yeah, it
to
is.
break through.
So, what would you tell people who are really searching and maybe they don't have the privilege to sit with someone like you? How do they find out more about what they're meant to do?
Um, I think the more you learn about these things, the more you
Mm-hmm.
learn about yourself
Mm-hmm.
and not run away from who you are. Dafka, the places that you're not the best at, that you don't like so much. The more you go there and check, why am
Yeah.
I like that? Why am I so scared of that?
Hmm.
Face yourself, you'll
Yeah.
learn more and you'll just again, I'm going back to accepting yourself
Yeah.
and once you're there, you'll realize that you have to really use your talents. And again, you could go to astrologist.
Hmm.
I would see people who want to come.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Hmm.
it's very important to really bring out what you can. And if you can't go and do it, try to do it even at home,
Yeah.
even with your family, even with your kids, even with it just, you know,
It's
gives you a
amazing.
lot. And some people, um, if they could feel satisfied from just being home
Hmm.
and doing what they like, and
Hmm.
not everyone has to do some big, thing,
There's nothing small in doing your
Exactly.
journey. Yeah,
Exactly. There's
I
nothing
agree.
small.
I agree. One of the reasons I think why someone like my husband, who is so skeptical by nature, was able to sit with you is because you're so grounded and you're so not likely to know astrology.
And you burst
People
out
off.
laughing when I say you're a child.
You?
Oh, that was a good joke. You're a child.
Because you are so grounded and real and also healthily, I think you're cynical, which is something that I find
Yeah.
fun. And with that said, it's almost like when you're giving it over, I could really trust you because you've already made sure it was authentic and not blah, blah, like
Yeah.
magical, you
Yeah.
know?
I don't listen. I don't look at anything as Torah,
Yeah.
kilo,
Yeah.
and it's this and nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
I'm skeptical. Everything
Yeah.
could be to hear, but I see more and more. I have the myth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying everyone could take things different places, but again, to say, you find the truth in everything.
Yeah. And when you see it over and over, like how accurate, or when you watch a client be like, oh my gosh, how did you know that? Then how much could you really deny that
Yeah.
this is happening?
Yeah. It's really cool
Yeah.
to see these things. Yeah. Yeah. I had this girl came to me for therapy and then she's like, ooh, I don't know what to do with that. I said, let's open your thing. And I said, she worked in an office. I
Hmm.
said, you're very good at makeup and hair. And she's like, how do you know? You know that I opened a business 10 years ago and it didn't work out and I failed and I wouldn't go back there. And
Mm-mm.
that's what I did, makeup and cosmetics. And
Wow.
I'm like, it's here.
It's here.
Go
Your
try again.
destiny. Yeah.
Try again. And she was that type of person that said, no,
Wow.
if I failed once, I'm going to fail again. I had to like convince her we fail. That's
Mm-hmm.
what happens in life. But what if it happens again? Yeah, it's
Mm-hmm.
going to happen again.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing to see some people, this specific person, she was like that in everything.
Wow.
If my mother did this to me once, she'll do it again. So I'm not going to try.
Mm-hmm.
If it was like, and here also the astrology helped her very much because she had a very big like resentment towards her mother.
Mm-hmm.
When her mother really wasn't so bad.
Wow.
It was like, and I had to really change her mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, how am I seeing it so clear and she's not?
Mm-hmm.
It's like
Mm-hmm.
this is what you see about sometimes these sionos, so things that people have to go through. You're like, they're in a certain mode.
Yeah.
That's what they're seeing because that's what they need to go through.
You change one person's life, it was all worth
It
it.
was
One
like,
person hears this and they feel better about who they are or open up a door to learn more, it was all worth it.
right.
Which brings me to this other thing that you've taught me, which is equally mind-blowing as the astrology. Okay, the body shapes and the way we cope with trauma in life. This has also just blown my world.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my biggest. It's very hard for me to bring it over to people because it's a little like you're talking about my body.
And it sounds a little cuckoo.
It does. It's called the five wounds. So it's psaim, basically
Mhm.
wounds that we all have in us, that are for us to grow. And you, you just see people according to their body shape, and you can
Mhm.
tell a lot about their personality. Now, people will tell me, what are you talking about? So, yeah, do you know that a lot of times you see someone who's very heavy
Yeah.
and then they have a surgery or the shots or whatever everyone's doing, and they become very thin in their personality? Like, what happened to their personality?
Yeah, it changes.
It changes
Hmm.
because I don't know what's from what. It's basically the five wounds that it starts off from our childhood, basically, things that happened to us that brought us to become a certain type.
Hmm.
And that is also our body shape. So you want to go into
Yeah,
that?
I do because I recently, it really blew my mind. We can go through each category, but first I'm just gonna throw out there where I was coming from.
Okay.
Okay. Because when you taught me this, it literally, I would watch TV shows and like be like, oh, this is their personality. I can tell. And I'd be right just based on how they looked. Or when I met people, I had much deeper understandings of who they were before they even opened their mouth. And I'd be open to say maybe Batsheva's wrong. And every time it was right.
But when I told you about this, you kind of like, it was as if you knew it. You're one. A lot of people
Yeah.
close to me knows I use these terms all day.
Yeah.
Dash, blah.
Yeah.
So already they know, but
Mm-hmm.
it takes me a long time to explain it to
Mm-hmm.
people.
No, it was obviously part of the way my brain
Like,
works. I know.
you
And I started to look at myself differently. And I realized what I think is, and I'll get into detail, what I think is kind of strength and what a strong woman looks like is just a defense mechanism. And it's totally been changing the way I see things. And I'm still working on it. For example, based on the way I'm built, you had a term called tria and nokshut. Tell me what those mean and then do all of them.
First of all, I didn't find this method anywhere. I've been Googling it to see what it's based on. Someone from France. Her name is Lisa. I don't know. Maybe you want to see what it says there in the beginning of how they describe this thing.
Lisa Barbu or Barbu.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
French. She made up this whole method, and basically, she describes all these as wounds. So there's the wound of tria you mentioned.
Hmm.
Tria are people who their wound comes from something in their childhood that they felt unwanted or someone really disappointed them, ignored. It's an abandoned. Tria is abandoned, rejection, abandoned. That's their deepest feel. And it's usually people who are smaller, skinny,
Hmm.
sometimes hunchback, sometimes you'll see, like, let's say their teeth are a little, like, they're not really always very taken care of because they don't care about these things. They're like, usually you'll find them very spiritual,
Yeah.
holy. They're not into geshem. They're
Yeah.
not into chomer.
Into food or into vacations or
No, they're not into that. And if they make money, so they'll give it out, or
Yeah.
they're not connected to it, and they feel like and I'm zchut kiyum,
Yeah.
like they're here for, like, a lot of them will run organizations or be very, very giving, or
Yeah.
they feel like the fact that they're here, it's like, wow.
I better do something.
Yeah.
Almost like the world rejected them and they
Yeah.
don't really belong here.
So again, I want to say something about all these things that I'm going to talk about. There's the five wounds. Each one of them, there's the lowest you could be in, which I described, let's say now about tria, and the highest.
Yeah.
Let's say this rejection, the tria. So a person is very, very either very giving, spiritual, just like crazy, holy. These people could start organizations and let people, or in the lowest place, they could be homeless because they don't want to live at home. They could be beggars. Even if they have money, they'll go on the street with rags because needs.
Yeah.
That's the lowest.
Wow.
So there's a very big range where it could be.
Could they be suicidal coming on that same idea? Like so giving up on this world?
yeah, if they're depressed, but it could be that not because they're so spiritual, they know they can't take their body.
Okay.
But they're in pain from
Yeah.
like being here. It's like they'll walk very fast and like, don't look at me, don't see me, don't like.
Yeah.
Cooking for them is like cooking.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you know. But so that's tria. It comes from a certain deep rejection. Someone didn't want them, a certain tria. You don't always find, a person can't always say what it was bidyuk, but it's in him. Now, a lot of times these wounds are with another wound. So you see the balance.
Yes, I got some things.
Which goes to what you said, nukshut.
Yeah, which I think makes up who I am, those two elements.
Yeah, you have that spirituality. And so the nukshut are people who it started from injustice. Something in their childhood they felt was very, very not fair. There wasn't justice. Someone did something that was really unfair. It's usually a parent, and they just felt like, we're going to decide what's right. Enough. We're going to take charge and we're going to decide. So they're very rigid. They're very, how do you say it? Resentment.
Yeah, like, resentful. Yeah.
They're people, you can't get very close to them. They're very.
Walls.
Yeah. They're, but they know what's right. They do what's right. Usually they're not emotional. Very sechel.
Yeah.
Their body shape is tall, yashar, rigid, long neck. See models, people who are not very emotional.
Yeah.
Very hadurei matara, they know what they want.
Yeah.
And it's not with a lot of emotions. And they speak the same tone. They, they're very
measured, very calculated almost.
They're very like they're perfect, look perfect. In a very low place. Germans.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
In a very low.
Following orders with no feeling.
That's what we need to do. En regesh, nira'im yafe.
Wow.
That's what they believe in.
That's scary. Yeah.
That's in the lowest.
Yes.
In the highest place, they could get very far. They could do crazy things, and you're like, how are they doing it? That's what they believe in.
Wow.
That's what they.
And they don't care what people think about them.
They don't
also
care
a
what people
superpower.
think. They don't. My husband, he's very does what he needs to do, believes in it. Someone will yell at him.
Yeah.
He doesn't even see
My
it.
sister, same. Yeah, this is the way it is. This is the way I do it. Bye.
Yeah.
Which again is something that I so admire, and then I realize
there's no guilt.
There's
guilt. No anxiety.
Right. No.
I don't have anxiety.
No.
You're like, I do what's right.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not second guessing myself. This is the way I am, and take it or leave it.
So soon I'll add to this the astrology, how it helps me.
Wow.
So to combine it. So that's nukshut. So let's go back. We said there's tchiyat. They are the little, smaller, petite people who are very giving, not very spiritual, not into chomer. Then there's nukshut, and tchiyat came from a certain rejection.
Yeah.
Then there's nukshut, people who are tall, long neck, know what they want, very straight, very rigid. They felt there was something there's injustice in their life, something that happened. By the way, a lot of people could tell you when they got. I know someone who told me, until like I was 14, I was very round, very this. And then something happened with my parents, and very majorly, I felt there was injustice and like I lost trust. I'm taking charge of my life.
Wow.
And his whole body changed. He became tall, long, and his whole mind, he said, I used to be very emotional, which leads me to the next petza, that is tlut. Tlut comes from abandonment. It's in your childhood, you felt someone abandoned you, a parent, divorce, a parent that left you. It could be even a parent that went away when you were young, and it was for a long time, and it caused a certain trauma. Like you could find someone that could tell you, when I was 2, my mother had to go for half a year, and it affected me.
Wow.
So people like that, they become dependent. Meaning the body shape is more round, round face, rounder body. They're always with someone. You know, the girls that always go with someone.
You come with me to the bathroom.
Exactly. Always with someone. They're people pleasers. They want everyone to love them. They're very lovable also, but they're always pleasing and always nice and they're very, very emotional. They talk about their feelings a lot. and they want everyone to really, really want them. So
We know
again,
the same people, so I feel like in our heads,
in our heads, we're
Yup.
thinking of it. So in the low place, not please anyone
I,
and just go
mhm,
for the wrong relationships, let's say, or get very stuck. In a good place, they're very warm and good and very kind
mm,
and very nice. But again, you want to balance it.
mhm.
But
And if your body shape changed, that means that maybe you went through something or something was either healed or damaged to make you sort of morph into another body shape.
yeah,
Another, okay.
and sometimes you have the mix of both.
Right.
Some of this, some of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then is shlita. Shlita are people who
My husband and the girl sitting right in front of me. My favorite people. Yeah.
Shlita are people who are, it's control basically, betrayal. When you were a child, you felt like someone you really trusted
Mm-hmm.
betrayed you. Like
Mm-hmm.
a lot of times it's a parent who didn't either keep a promise or
Mm-hmm.
something that you felt like, I need to be in control here.
Mm-hmm.
I need to control my life. And it's usually strong. It's people who are either broad, hips, or shoulders. אנשים עם נוכחות,
Voice.
presence,
Mm-hmm.
strong voice, jaw.
Yeah.
People who are mamash. So in a good place,
Mm-hmm.
they're in control of themselves
Yeah.
and they don't say what's wrong, but they have koach. They know what to say. They know how to run things. In a bad place, they're very controlling.
Yeah.
They could control. Look at a lot of the leaders are
Mm-hmm.
shlita.
Wow.
So they could do good and bad,
Mm-hmm.
but
But that's the way it is.
yeah,
And do they have more second guessing or guilt than someone like Nokshut, for example? Because they
definitely.
do.
They have a lot of guilt.
Mm.
They're very into just, also here, they're very into people. It's hard for them to trust people, I
Yeah.
feel like, because,
I could do it better. That's really it. Like, why would I trust you?
yeah. They're usually confident and they know what they want, but they're very emotional, happens to be.
Yeah.
They're very emotional. So that's the fourth one. And the fifth one and the last one is hashpala. Hashpala is, how do you say that in English? Hashpala is humiliation, right?
Humiliation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's someone who body shape is very heavy, overweight. It's like they need protection with their
Oh,
body,
okay.
almost like,
Like distancing yourself from the world by having all this extra.
yeah. But on the other hand, because of they could humiliate themselves,
Wow.
the people who say what everyone thinks.
Like, why are you saying that out loud?
Yeah, they're like cute, but don't say that.
Yeah.
Or they could humiliate other people. When we want to do, we could get it very, very into it. But let's say you'll see in a lower place, a person like that would drive a very small car when they're huge. You know what I mean?
Embarrassing themselves.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
They think
So
that that's coming to them in this weird way.
yeah, but they're very, very good people, very
Yeah.
kind. They're
Kind.
a little bit. They don't know boundaries a little.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They want to give, but it's too much.
Yeah.
They're a little much.
Yes.
Much, but they're good, they're kind, they're sweet, they're funny, they're again in a good place. If they're in a good place, they're very, very, people just love them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're very kind, they're very
Mm-hmm.
warm and whatever. But in a bad place, it's like,
Wow.
yeah, it's so those are the five basically. It's tria,
Yeah.
which is from abandonment,
Mm-hmm.
hashpala, what we just said, being humiliated and
Mm-hmm.
overly, we'll just say tria is very small,
Yeah.
little bodies. Ashpala is overweight.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's
Yeah.
nokshut, are people who are, they know what's right,
Mm-hmm.
tall,
Mm-hmm.
long neck,
Mm-hmm.
not emotional.
Wow.
And then there's shlita, who are control, bigger. Yeah, they're very into, they know what's right, but they're very emotional. And what am I missing? Tlut. Tlut are rounder, cute. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
dependent. They're very dependent. They're always very dependent.
So let me take you through what I think let's make this all about me, Batsheva. Okay.
Okay, that'll make it
So
simple.
I was just going through like what I looked like as a kid and what was going on in my life. And when I was sort of like changing or growing or whatever it was physically, I'm not sure the traumas or the things happened then. It might be it all happened at a certain age and it was expressed, would that make sense, later
Yeah,
on
for
in
sure.
life? Okay. So if I feel like I was like this tria, like a small person, then went into sort of this round person that I'm not sure I was dependent on people, but very much people pleasing and trying to be cute and whatever. And then I came into this no shoot place, which is again, like I don't need anyone and I'm not emotional. And that was protecting me for so many years. And I'm coming to a place in my life where I want that to sort of, I can't get rid of anything, but I really want to work on that. I want to work on the risk of going backwards. Like I'm so afraid of becoming maybe emotional or dependent. But I think that's the way I healed by sort of going back to my source. Would you contradict me? Is that?
No, I think that you used these protections throughout your life
Mm-hmm.
in the situations you were in.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say, I guess when you were younger, you felt like you need to please people because you wanted to be validated. You were in a chevra that appreciated only whoever was like them and
Yeah.
normal.
Normal.
Normal, yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
And did the right. So you just shalafted it. You took it out. Oh wait, where is it in me?
Yeah.
Let me find it. And
Yeah.
you had it in
Like
you,
a skill.
and you just used it
Mm-hmm.
as a skill, and you saw it on your body. You were rounder, sweeter,
Yeah.
cuter. And then you got to the point where you're like, I had enough of this.
Yeah.
I
Like,
had enough of pleasing you guys. I don't
mhm.
care who you are.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm myself. I'm who
Yeah.
I am. I don't
Yeah.
need anyone to be okay with me.
Which feels so much better, but I'm not sure it is. I don't know.
So there's a balance.
Mm-hmm.
It is a very strong, I feel like I call it a masecha. It's a very strong
Yeah.
mask
Yeah.
because it's kilu, no one could hurt me.
Right.
And it's real
Mm-hmm.
because your emotions are so locked,
Yeah.
no one could get there.
Yeah.
So I'm always jealous of that pet in a way because you're really protected.
Yeah.
On the other hand, you're not feeling. So
Right.
you're
How
missing out on
life. Exactly.
but a lot of times I
Yeah.
wish I was that. I'm
Really.
working on it. I'm on diet. My body shape won't change. No matter how much weight I lose, it's me.
Lita, it's also a
My
bone
bone
structure. I heard someone say recently, they said that someone was telling them a very sad story and they were in a group of girls and they looked to their left and the right and all the girls were doing this. And she goes, oh, that's okay. She's like, that's the way normal people act. And that really resonated with me. I'm like, sometimes I'm looking around and I'm like, I don't care. Why is everyone caring? I need to, and it's
Or
exactly
that
that.
you do care and it didn't hit you yet.
Right. It'll get
Sometimes
there.
it'll get there later, no?
Yes. Yes. There's an
When
after
you're at a
response.
story that's happening that's extreme, your first nokshut usually, the first thing is, I'm not there. זה לא
Yeah.
קשור אליי.
Yeah.
And only later they let it sink in.
Hmm.
And only if they tap into it do they feel it.
Yeah, it's really true.
But their natural is, wow, what a story. It's very sad.
Yeah.
It's like they're reading it in a book.
Yeah.
זה לא נוגע להם, even
Yeah.
if it's someone who's close to them.
Yeah.
They don't have, that's why they don't have guilt.
It's so true.
And it's amazing.
Maybe. It's so true. And then I guess if you balance it and you work on all these things, then you have a chance to become, I guess, like you said, like the most naim, a more balanced person.
Right. But that's what I said I was talking to me and my husband all day. That's all we talk about, the p'tzaim. That's how my daughter had a therapist
Mm-hmm.
and she was hashpala, humiliation.
Mm-hmm.
Now, she was unbelievable for my daughter.
Wow.
My daughter was then, I guess, a little tchia. So she
Mhm.
gave her all the love and
Yeah.
all the,
Yeah.
she hugged her and she really gave her a lot for 2 years. But a lot of things that she did, I was like, this
Mm.
is so off. But then I said, oh, hashpara. Now, if I didn't know this,
Mhm.
I would call her because I'm shlita and I would say,
What is that?
why did you just do that? That doesn't
Yeah.
make any sense.
Yeah.
But I was like, Batsheva, hashpara, it has to come out. Okay, not so bad.
Yeah.
Like she would tell her something I told her and I was like,
Why would you say that?
what do you say?
Mm-hmm.
So weird and not professional. But that wasn't that she wasn't, it was hashpala. It was something she didn't like. So she had to get it out in a hashpala way.
Yes.
It was amazing to see.
Yeah.
Without tact.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, I'm not going to say anything because it's hashpala and it's fine.
Mm.
So it's just very cool to. Now, I think that a lot of times, nokshut,
Yeah.
which is the rigid,
Mm-hmm.
not emotional, marry shlita.
Hello.
Me too.
Yeah.
Why? Because they're strong people. They like strength.
Yeah.
They can't marry someone who's going to be too attached to them and cute to them and to like be with me and very emotional.
Yeah.
They
Unfortunately, I'm allergic to that.
can't. Can't.
Yeah.
But they want someone who's emotional
Right.
because in a way they admire that.
Mm-hmm.
Look how emotional. It's interesting to them also.
Yeah.
They feel a little bored.
It is so interesting to hear. And sometimes I'll just be quiet and I'm just listening. I also love that my husband could say, where are you going? Come sit with me longer. And I'm always like, can I say that to somebody? How cool is that to be so vulnerable about your needs? Because you need something.
Right.
You're just going to say it. I admire that so much. It's so not
Right.
me.
Right. But that's also not the nokshut. That's the tchia.
Oh.
That's more the tchia. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
it's deep, but it's like
deep.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
So a
deep.
no-shoe person might be like, leave me alone type of thing.
An Akshut person, if it's his spouse, he'll be like, this is what he needs. I'm coming.
Okay. Okay.
You know?
Yes.
But
I get both of those like in my
exactly.
head.
So
Very
you
cool.
admire the shlita,
Yeah.
or the something's going
Mm-hmm.
on over there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you, it's very masuda.
Yeah.
It's the emotions are here for when we need them.
Yes. Yeah.
We need to do what we need to do.
Yeah.
We're in control.
Yeah.
You know,
Totally.
the shlita, there's guilt, there's self-hate, there's
Totally.
madness,
Mm-hmm.
there's fire, but there's
Yeah.
wow, funny,
Yeah.
happy,
Mm-hmm.
very interesting.
Yeah. I just learned recently how when my spouse, I don't want to throw you under the bus, Yoshua, so I'm just gonna say you, Batsheva, okay? When I'm being told like different things that are on their minds, and I'm always quick to fix it, and I've noticed stop doing that. Like I'm so anxious about this, and instead of saying why, let me explain why it'll be okay. Or when you're anxious about things, it doesn't help. Or instead of doing that, I just said, yeah, that's a real fear, and I was quiet, and it was kind of like he was validated. Like I'm not trying to turn off his way of being by becoming me. And I think that was kind of like a nice little way to keep the conversation for him to just feel like he could say anything and I'm not going to try to cap it or,
Right.
you know?
You're very good listeners, Zebatua. Very good listeners,
Mm-hmm.
but not always able to validate because the emotions are not there. And the shlita, they're so connected to their emotions. You know what they want. They're so in control of what they want.
Yeah.
I know what I want now. I know what I need. They know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're just like yourself. You're like,
Yeah.
there, it's okay. Nothing's too crazy.
Nothing's too crazy. It doesn't touch me. So how could we do? Come try, like really try to shock me.
Yes, it doesn't touch you.
Right.
It
Right.
doesn't touch you.
Right. You know, a friend confided something very traumatic to me and a friend of mine, and it was really traumatic. And I just sat there and I just gave her a hug, and then we went home. And the other friend's like, "How were you able to like? My mind is blown. I don't know what to do now with this information." And again, it took me about a couple weeks to really internalize what happened. But I felt like, okay, in that scenario, it was actually perfect that this girl was around someone like me and like someone like that. You know, so you can see how these things can be used. You mentioned the star map, the astrology working with you and understanding this. How do they overlap?
It's amazing to see because let's say show is a Taurus, we said.
Mm-hmm.
Show is he's very has money. I mean, even if he doesn't have, he knows value of money, of expensive things. He'll always pick the good. So if he's Tria, which I know someone like that,
Wow.
who's very like, so what? How does it work together?
Yeah, there are contradictions.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I know someone like that who, let's say he goes out to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a show. So he orders the most expensive thing on the menu, but he's tria, so he doesn't eat it.
Oh my
He takes a bite.
goodness.
And he's like, oh.
That's so interesting.
Or he makes a very nice salary.
Mm-hmm.
But what does he do with
He gives it away.
He buys tons of stuff for Shabbos for people.
Mm-hmm.
And he buys tons of extra food for the house. His wife is like, why is he buying that?
Wow.
And because he's like, okay, he has the show. He knows he makes money, but he's very not like attached to it because it's chomer.
Yeah.
So to mix it all together is very cool.
That's amazing.
Let's say you're Moznaim.
Yeah.
Moznaim are they're very aristocratic and very diplomatic. They could have very high positions and you have very good taste. They could be very big designers, clothing, I'm saying. And then you're tria. So you're
spiritual.
You're very spiritual.
Right.
But in a diplomatic way.
Mm-hmm.
You'll do a podcast. You'll this in a very not in a spiritual way of like, I'm gonna preach.
No.
That's ashpala or shita or listen to me.
Right. I'll never also have like Gucci on my t-shirt. You know, it's the same idea.
Exactly. Yeah. You won't have a Gucci on your t-shirt and you won't try that people should see what you have because not because you're tzaddikis.
No.
You are for different reasons. Because it grosses you out.
It's ew.
You're like, ew.
Tacky. Yeah.
Yeah. Ew. Why would I want to do that? You're not going to have aloe on your...
Right. I will not. I will not.
Or you're not going to drive the fanciest car. You wouldn't want...
My car is so cute. So it's pleasant and good air conditioning.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If someone gave you the fanciest car, which I don't know what it's called even probably, because I'm this neb from Israel, you wouldn't want it.
No.
You would feel comfortable driving?
No, never. Ew,
No.
embarrassing. And you once mentioned also like food-wise, I also realized like I really enjoy cooking. Not the hugest eater, but I love making things pretty and it actually makes sense.
You like making it pretty because of the Moznaim. You like everything aesthetic and nice looking and cute looking and whatever.
Yeah.
But you don't love food.
Right.
craving a steak.
Right.
You're not craving a steak.
Not.
No.
It's so cool.
You're
It's
just
so much insight here.
It's something I do all day, all day. I go out
Mhm.
to eat, I look around me. And again, I want to say every single thing could be, you could say positive and
Mhm.
negative.
Mhm.
It's who you need to be and pick the way to make it good.
So I'm
So you
trying.
could have a
Mhm.
day that you're really bad. You
Mhm.
could have a day. So for me and my husband, let's say when we realize that he's nokshut and I'm shlita, but I was tlut also in my life.
Mhm.
So we know to tell each other, oh, this is so shlita of
Yeah.
you. And he'll tell me, this is so nokshut of
I
you.
started talking like that usually when I actually say stuff like that, like shlita,
say
you
that
know,
all
it's
the time.
great. It's amazing. And then when I meet people, I am much more understanding of them. Like you said with that therapist, I give people so much more leeway because I see it. I see it.
Yeah,
You
you
know?
understand where it's coming
Yeah.
from. Then
Yeah.
it makes it so much more like simple. You
Yeah.
understand it.
Yeah. Once you can call it out, it doesn't offend you, annoy you. It's just like,
You
this
really
is who
have
they
to-
are.
It's so much
Yeah.
easier for me in my marriage. It was like, wow, when
Yeah.
I realized my husband's nukshut, it's not, it's something, you know. And then when we got deeper into it,
Mhm.
when it happened and why it
Mhm.
happened, that's
Yeah.
more interesting.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
it's
Things
like,
are popping up for me for sure. I can
yeah,
identify stuff for sure.
yeah, you go back to life.
Mhm.
Like, wow, I told you, like before I said
Mhm.
something about riding a bike. I remember at fourth grade, we moved houses and it wasn't easy. Like
Mhm.
our house wasn't ready and money was easy. And I felt I was riding a bike. I was in fourth grade
Yeah.
and we lived in this gross apartment and
Mhm.
it was just not fun.
Mhm.
And I'm like, and I told my husband, like, I remember riding a bike a lot. He's like, right, because it's shlitta.
He got it.
He got it right.
What about people who need freedom and space? Is there like is that just more mazal? And
No, I think that it would be also a little more tchia.
mm,
Tchia, they don't want to be, they need space. They
yeah.
don't want animals, be
Hmm.
skinny,
Hmm. Yeah.
like
Very
that
cool.
type. But yeah, people who like us, so cultures and flying, you see that also. Kashat. What's
Yes,
kashat
that's me,
again?
Sagittarius. That's
Yeah.
my moon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's your moon.
Yeah. Very cool.
They
I need to
change it.
travel, you guys.
Travel.
Summer, like
Traveling.
yes.
Is it hard for you? You're here.
You know what? It's so funny because we were away for Pesach, so I really got it out of my system. And we talk about traveling a lot here. And one of my friends listened to my podcast and says, you know, you really shouldn't speak about travel so much because there are a lot of people who can't. And I said, yeah, there are some people who can't, but we do it on a budget. It's not about money traveling to fancy places.
היום בכלל not.
You can
Because
go.
anyone could go.
That's it.
I'm the example of someone
Hmm.
who's so adama and so
Yeah.
stuck
Yeah.
that I wish I could just fly
Yeah.
more, but I don't have the
It's not you.
desire. It's not me.
No.
I'm not Sagittarius, whatever.
That just,
I'm not Sagittarius.
yeah. Yeah.
I like my place, my
Yeah.
space. For me to
Mhm.
fly, I have to work myself.
No, I
have to
understand.
work.
And why would you bother? Like, why is that
It's like
healthy?
to let go of my
Mhm. Yeah.
mamash, my chayut. It's very hard for me to fly.
Yeah.
Before I fly, ask my friends, family, I'm not.
Yeah. You're anxious.
I cry. Like,
Mm.
what am I doing? It's the hardest thing for me.
Wow, that is so interesting.
Yeah.
And I have to sort of force myself to be like, I'm really happy where I am right now.
I
Like
know,
I
it's just-
internalize
I
it,
feel like you're able to let go more.
but it's like what you're born with in a way. You know, like you said before, we can't compare notes because it's always going to be so different. And in a marriage, you're hoping to pull each other out of a shell a little bit. It doesn't have to be travel. It could be going out to eat. Like my husband hates going out to eat because he loves what he has in the kitchen on his own. Why would he, you know, and it's also a bit of a control thing. You're giving up to even sit in a restaurant, which I understand, you know. So we're all trying to do our best.
Exactly.
Batsheva, thank you for being here. You are literally a light and fun and interesting, and I know everyone enjoyed it as much as I did. So thank
And
you.
you are so unbelievable. I watch you since you moved here,
Yeah.
and I'm like always so amazed. And you and
Mhm.
Yeshua just are such giving and good parents. You give them what I always see when I come to your bar mitzvah, especially
Yeah.
is that you really give them space to be who they are.
Mhm.
It's like
Mhm.
I'm always in awe of it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
wow. And I never thought that this cousin of mine from America, I
Flatbush,
remember
you
the first
guys.
time I met you, I'll be the most honest with about the most
Yes.
personal things in my life with you.
Yeah.
I remember my sister met you and she's like, how are you guys so close?
Mhm.
Like at different times?
Mhm.
But you're just
He warmed up to me.
you're just so self-aware and wanting to learn and grow. And it's like
We just when nishamot, when souls meet and they just really vibe together, I don't even second guess it. It doesn't happen a lot, and I'm just like, okay, we're meant to hang out and learn from each
and I
other.
get you. I get your life.
Yeah.
I get your
Yeah.
feelings. Sometimes without speaking to you, I'm like, I get
Mutually.
it.
I quote you a lot and like, okay, yeah, Batsheva says. I'm like, well. So again, Batsheva, you're amazing, and thank you for being here. It was fun.